Hey ladies, we're super excited to be here. I don't know how long it takes for everyone to start popping up, but I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Ashley Rawls. I'm an executive with Jamberry and have been here since April 2014. So I'm fixing to celebrate 3 years. And you all know Morgan Cullen, our elite executive, is sharing the screen with me. And she's actually going to be applying wraps with gel over them so y'all can kind of see the process while we chat. But I'm going to wait and see who all jumps on. I don't see anyone quite yet. Make sure we're doing good. There they are. They're coming on now.
Yay! Did you say April, Ashley?
April 1st. I'm going to be in Punta Cana.
What? We're both three-year Jamiversary babies in April. We're gonna have to
That's
party it up.
fun.
I
I
know.
like it. Hey, girls. All right, they're able to comment, so we're good now.
Okay, I'm gonna get to applying.
All right, sounds good. Hi, Rachel. Yes, we're super excited to be here, and it's just so fun getting to see all these tips and tricks from some of the best in the business. We've had a blast watching all the videos. Hey. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite gel tricks, tips. I'm kind of a gel junkie. When it came out, I expanded my lacquer collection to the point of embarrassing. I have so many lacquers now because I basically felt like the gel meant I could wear every color of lacquer in the rainbow and they last forever. So like I think my longest gel over lacquer application was like 23 days. And I finally caved because we had new catalog wraps sitting on my table and I couldn't stand it anymore. So that's probably one of my favorite ways to wear the gel. I just do it really simple. So I do my lacquer, let it dry for just a few seconds. You know how fast it dries. Then I do the base coat, cure, top coat, cure. It's real thin, and it stays on for, I mean, easily 2 weeks is my average for that. No chipping, no problems. I know you've had a lot of videos and stuff already about the best ways to do some of that, so I'm not going to go into too many details, but for me, it's steering clear of the cuticle, just like don't fear the gap, kind of like we tell them to do with our wraps, so that it gets a really good seal on there, and to make sure that they're thin coats. That's what works for me as far as getting them to last the longest. Another fun trick that I like to do, especially for our sparkle gels, like when I played with the moonshine, or especially some of ours that are a little bit, not moonshine, moon dust. Some of those that are a little bit thinner color background, like graphite or something like that, which I know that one's retiring. But if you will put a lacquer underneath, you basically will have, it'll look like a solid sparkle when you're finished. So like recently I used Sweet 16 and I put the color of, I think I used Jammin' underneath it. And so instead of having like a really light sparkle or having to do a whole bunch of sparkle coats and getting it super thick, I can just do one usually. I just do the lacquer first and then layer over the gel, which is super fun. So it makes all my sparkles seem like super bright and sparkly, which we don't want that if we're wearing sparkles anyway, right? One of the other things that I really like to do is the sponge trick. Have y'all seen the sponge tricks? So for, if you're doing sparkles and you want to, like I have a little ombre effect going on here. Let's see if you can see it. I have on, these have been on about a week, but I have porcelain on the bottom and then I sponged on the tips, the color. So I just paint it on. I already have mine on, so I won't make y'all see me do it again. But basically what it does is it absorbs the color, like the back part of our gel, and then it just leaves the sparkles. So then you can just sponge on all the sparkly stuff. So I do that a lot if I have like the lacquer already on there and I want like a really thick sparkle coat. Or if I, like this was when I was playing with my little ombre, it was really easy to kind of design it how I wanted. And of course with gels, super easy to just wipe it off and regroup if you have to. So that's another fun trick that I like to do. I personally have had huge sales using lacquers and gels and really pushing the color pop and like the Black Friday sales that we had on our lacquers were insane. So if you're not using those, especially with you UK girls who are all fixing to get this is a huge boost to your business. So a lot of times what I will do is I always use the picture on hands. It doesn't necessarily have to be yours, especially the first day of the month when we're just getting color pop, but use the one that either Jamboree gives us on hand, or we've been getting a lot from Pampered Polish. And I'll post it on my personal page, like on my personal Facebook page. And instead of doing like, you know, who needs to order this? Jamboree just released it. I make it more about my obsession. So, like Black Friday, I really did a lot with the Steal the Show and posted stuff like, you know, OMG, how many of these bottles should I get? This is insane. I love this stuff. And instead of it being like, please place your order and I'm offering free shipping, it was more about I have an obsession and everybody else wanted it too. So it's kind of like when we share something fun on Facebook about another random product and everybody's super into it. That's what happens with the lacquers and the gels when I share them. So I've actually gotten a ton of new customers from that. So I want to make sure that you guys are really playing those up, especially you girls in the UK, because it's so cool that you're fixing to get the gels. You're going to freak out as to how awesome it is. And the other thing too is we're not experts at this, obviously. We just have started doing things that work for us. So play with them. Like if you or your customers are having trouble, be sure that you're brainstorming and working your way through them and try different ways, find out what works the best on your nails. I know me and Morgan both agree that we did things completely differently and they both work for us. So just be sure that you're trying different avenues, find out which things are working best for you. And I think you will love the results as you figure out what's your best application. What else? I know we've been talking about removers. You can do it a couple different ways. Morgan does hers differently because how she applies. I like to use remover packets for all of my gels because they just literally melt right off. So if you haven't tried these, especially if you're doing the bundle doesn't include these. So I like to upsell them. So if you will show, like in your VIP group, your removal process, show how it just melts right off, that blew my VIP's minds. So be sure that you're going live in your VIP groups and showing them the removal process and showing them how pretty your nails look and how it just slides right off, because a lot of people fear the nail damage, which we won't have using the proper removal. So y'all be sure and check that out as well. Morgan, I know you had some things you want to let them know too.
Yes, I do. Okay, maybe I'll just flip this up. Hi, guys. All right. So a few things I wanted to talk about are that I love to mix it up at events. Okay, so whenever I'm doing anything, any party platform, even an online party, I think it's so important to rock a mixed mani. So what do I mean by that? So especially at live events, like vendor events, home parties, pop-up shops, that sort of thing, I love to do what I call the old hand trick. So I will have one hand that has maybe a 10-day-old manicure on it and the other hand that maybe has 3 nails done. So I won't even like super worry a lot about going to an event with an old hand, because in a way I love to show them, here, my nails have been on for 10 days. This is what it looks like after 10 days. And then on the other hand, I leave a few nails naked, just so that if somebody comes up and is like, oh, I don't know if I want to try it, I'm like, here, let me show you on my nail. So don't think that you have to go to an event with like these banging nails, because in a way, use your own nails to just showcase all the different options. Like maybe you can have a nail that has just gel. Maybe you can have a nail that has just wraps. Maybe you can have a nail with lacquer. Maybe another nail with lacquer and top coat on it. So it's just an idea to really mix it up and showcase all our different products on one hand. I'm going to shout out Brittany Kolba, because all the time her mixed manis and her different like uses of all these different like layering effects, I'm just always like, Britt, can I just have your hands and just act like they're mine? Okay, she's going to laugh when she's like, I cannot believe you mentioned me. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that what I'm doing is I'm busy over here doing gels over our wraps. I just did the base coat. So now I need to do the top coat. It's so easy. It's one of those things, you guys, where everyone on my team was telling me about it. And I was like, you guys are so silly, because that's one extra process in the step. And truth be told, I wasn't doing it because I just thought it would be one extra process. And So what did I do one day? I told my team, you have to hold me accountable. I want to try this. Okay, so I just painted the top coat, one quick layer. I'm going to throw it in the lamp while I talk to you. And do you see what I'm doing here? I do this in my online parties. I'll just go live and I'll just talk to them about Jamberry while I'm doing my nails. So that's another little tip that I love. So gel over wraps, I love it. Why do I love it? Because I tend to not love the idea of the packet removers and truly like the chemicals that go in it. And I'm one of those weird people that can do like coconut oil remover technique. So when I do gels over wraps, so I do wrap, then a base coat, then a top coat, I can still remove it with coconut oil or warm olive oil. And that's just works for me. I know, we talk a lot about damage and it's not right for everybody, but just know for me, I love that I can do those layers and not have to deal a lot with a chemical load. So here we are. While you guys were sitting there, let me make sure. I just rocked these guys. So easy.
Yay.
Gel right over our wraps. They'll be on there for, I don't know, 10, 12, 14 days. So love, love, love. So that's my jam. Wrap, gel base coat, gel top coat. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is what I love to do with our lacquers. So Ashley and I are on like the mixed Manny, all the different layers. So our lacquers I love because first of all, like everyone always says to me, I don't know if I'm into nail wraps. And I'm like, dude, you have to have our lacquer experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, Ash? Yeah. So I love to do lacquer. And then when my lacquer chips, because it chips, it's lacquer. It's going to chip, it's going to smudge, it's going to wear a little bit at the end. You're going to have it start to like chip off a little bit. So the second that happens, I either slap a wrap on top of it, which I love because that gives it a little bit more longevity. And then I clip it and I do the baggy technique where I can seal the edges or the spoon to seal the edges. Or sometimes I'll just go get one of our top coats and just glam it up with super glitters. And I cannot believe you guys. I feel like our top coats are like this undercover secret because in so many ways, whenever I wear our super like glittery top coats, people are like, oh, look at your gel nails. And I'm like, oh no, this is just polish. And they're like, what? And I love to do that. And I can even put top coats over wraps, which I think is nice too. Do you have anything to say about that, Ashley?
No, I just totally agree with it. I think the lacquers have been a huge selling point and really a turning point in my business this last year. I'm reeling them in with that, and then they get hooked on all the Jamboree stuff after they get in my VIP group. But they're starting with the lacquers a lot of times and the gels, which has been really huge. So I totally agree.
Totally. And I think in a way, you guys, I love Jamboree because it allows me to like be creative. And I love the like soothing, calming feeling of painting. So I always tell people, even for pedicures, slap a jam on your big toe, rock the lacquer on the other four. So that works a lot too. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that in a way, like just remind yourself that you do your own jam style. Like everybody has their own jam style that they're always like, I do this and this is what I do. So as an experiential salesperson, just like I reminded all of my UK team this morning, all these new products are coming into your markets, both new, everybody's getting new stuff. Actually, yeah, everybody's getting new stuff because we have the foot care. Right. What I want you guys to know is I know it's easy to do what you do and keep doing that, but every once in a while, just step outside your comfort zone. All my girls kept saying, try gel over your wraps. And I was like, why? I like wraps. Wraps work for me. But as soon as I tried it, I sold like 5 gel kits in the next 2 weeks because I couldn't believe how well it worked for me. So just make sure you're being an experiential salesperson, at least buy or try everything. Do you have anything else to say, Ashley?
No, but I like that, and I really think that for our women who work in industries that are tough on their nails, like for me, one of the selling points is we had just moved into our house on acreage, and I was working outside a lot, and polish wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds, but having the gel over stuff, I mean, it makes them so much stronger. So I think a lot of the times when we have those problem areas where they talk about how tough they are on their hands, being able to go over their polish or lacquer with our gel system is a huge point for all of those people who have those type of jobs, because it makes my nails like 10 times stronger, I feel like.
Totally. And let's just remind everybody that everybody has different removal techniques too. So make sure you're sharing that, and make sure, if your removal technique is just polish remover, that you share that, but then you also mention our gel pack removers. So different
Right.
people, different chemistries and bodies and pHs work differently with remover techniques. I will say that we are going to upload an album after the training is over, and we are going to ask for your tips, and we're uploading, I think, 7 images. So when this whole expo training is over, so be thinking about your tips for these 7 categories of layering. True shine over wraps, true shine over lacquer, wrap over lacquer, wraps over true shine, creative cutouts, layered wraps, and just true shine in general. So I'm going to upload an album with those type of like word swag images, and we want your tips because we want this album to be a robust place for all of us to suggest our best practices and our best tips for those different layerings. Sound good?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and here it is, you guys. So I can take that off with remover just like this. Like I probably, here, I will even show you guys how easy that is. Here's our remover. Here's a cotton ball. Just get it a little bit wet. I just heard about the paintbrush technique, which I don't even know. I'm just going to break the seal right there. Nothing big. So I broke a little bit of the seal with my nail. And I'll just sneak the cotton ball underneath there. And I'm telling you guys, I cannot believe like just going live in your UK group. So I broke the seal. And that's it. And I'm going to gently, gently remove it off. And there goes my wrap with my gel on top. Okay, Ash, do you think we're done?
I think so. I would just say, too, that Morgan's right. Be sure that you're trying stuff and experimenting stuff. I was not a nail person, shockingly enough, before Jamboree, which I know a lot of us weren't, so it seems really funny.
Yeah.
But like just the other day, randomly, I wanted to try that little ombre effect, and it took me like 2 seconds, but it was fun getting to try new tools. And you will find those people in your business that do want to do all that kind of work, and it helps if you have any knowledge of how to do it with our materials. So be sure that you're using all your products, play with them, and don't just assume if it didn't work that it won't ever work. Find the way it works. Be solution oriented and figure it out because they work. You just have to figure out what works with your nails and what the best application is.
Yes, and I even suggested today on my UK team page, as I said, y'all, listen, if you feel like in a way your budget doesn't cover buying all of these new products, link up with people in your area and say, hey, if you get the foot care, like I'll get the gel kit. And if you get the style box,
Yeah.
I'll get this. And in a way, like, let's just all get together and we can all try our own products as consultants. So remember that there's a ton of people in your area and you can always link up with somebody. Everybody should like at least have help from their upline or somebody that they can say, hey, I would love to know if there's a consultant in my area so I can try these products, but I just can't afford them yet. So that's another great idea.
Yeah, me and Melody just recently did that at our area meetings. If you're hooked into an area meeting, request for them to do that. We basically just set up a little product expo where it's very similar to this, but where you could try anything that we had. If you had never seen it, didn't know what it was, didn't know how it worked, it's all out for you to play with. So if you're going to area meetings or hosting them for that matter, set this up in the back, the last 10 minutes of the meeting, let people play with it. And also it gave the guests something to play with too, which was huge because, they all want to know what we're even doing. So yes. I would highly recommend that if you're hooked into area meetings.
I agree. Okay, you guys, I think we're at our 20 minutes. Got my little wraps off, and now I have my naked nails. Quick as that. So easy peasy.
Yay. Thanks for having us, girls.